Let's talk for a second about sleep, food intake, weight gain, all that kind of good stuff. And part of the reason I wanted to ask about this is because it seems this is based on a comment that you had sent to me a few days ago about, and maybe you can tell me how to pronounce this, endocannabinoids. Am I saying that correctly? Cannabinoids?
Yeah, you are.
How do you say this? What's the proper pronunciation on this?
Endocannabinoids.
There we go. On endocannabinoids, because I'm wondering if this somehow ties into the earlier conversation we were having about THC. Maybe not, maybe it does. But certainly people who have smoked a lot of weed, which is not me, but will be, or for that matter, who have had enough edibles, will be familiar with the munchies. Very consistent for a lot of folks who might dance with the wacky tobacco on occasion. So could you introduce this in any way that makes sense to you, just in terms of how sleep relates to food intake, relates to weight gain, sleep and food timing, all of that jazz? Because the endocannabinoids, or changes in endocannabinoids caused by sleep loss, seem to increase hunger, food intake, and thus weight gain. It makes me wonder, like, why would that be the case? Why is that? I have observed, as someone who's had a lot of sleep trouble, that I become ravenous, or at least much more compelled to overeat when I don't sleep.
It's striking, and I've certainly noticed that too when I sort of travel, if I'm, going back home to the UK, to England, and my sleep is usually always rough with that. I definitely notice the change in my appetite, and the evidence is really very strong now that when sleep gets short, unfortunately, it will lead to a waistline that can expand. And the early evidence came on to
At Obesity Diplomat. It's a very nice way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my Twitter handle is changing by the minute here. And then at some point there will just simply be hashtag cancel culture sleep diplomat, which is kind of, yeah. But anyway, so the early evidence looked at
It takes a village, internet. Let's make his dreams come true. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
The world will be a better place without me, I'm sure. So,
stop it.
There were two appetite regulating hormones. One was called leptin, one was called ghrelin. And leptin, by the way, is a hormone that says to your brain, okay, don't eat it. We think of it almost like the satiety signal that makes you, when you've had food,